And now the Meeting Point presents Round the Table with your host, TV Presenter Man.
Hello and good evening. My name is TV Presenter Man, and welcome to Round the Table, brought to you by the Meeting Point Bilbao. And in tonight's programme, we are talking to a legend of 1970s rock music. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Frazz Alverbs. Great to be here, and we've been looking forward to having you here. Frazz, maybe we could start by finding out something about your early career. When did you first start playing the guitar? Well, I took it up at an early age. I was about 6, I think, when I got my first guitar, and I took to it immediately. And were you brought up in a musical family? Yeah, there was a lot of music when I was growing up. I took after my parents and followed their musical path. My father was what they call a one-man band, and my mother played the bongos in a jazz band. So the house was always full of music, entertainers, exotic dancers. And when did you start your first band? Well, I first ran into Stig Figgins when I was at high school. He played the guitar too, so we hit it off instantly. Then we set up a band with an electric kazoo player. The band didn't last long as we didn't get on with the kazoo player, and we broke up due to musical differences. And your next band was? Well, next I came across a harmonica player named Benny Longshanks, and with Tiny Malone on bass and a one-armed drummer named Stix McKenzie, we set up Starship 17, named after the classic song by the great Skid Marks. Yes, the wonderful Skid Marks. He was a big hero of ours who we always looked up to. And did your music catch on? We had a small following on the rhythm and blues circuit, but it was a lot of hard work, and we were always running out of money. We found it very hard to get by. We got turned down by a lot of record companies, and we nearly gave up trying. But finally we got signed up by Hardvark Records, and we brought out our first album, Elephant in the Womb. Great album. Now that came out in 74, I think. 73 actually. Now who came up with the title? I think Benny made that up. I love that track, Floating Over Pangaea. The saxophone solo on that track is amazing. Yeah, we brought in Snook Floyd to play the sax. The great Snook Floyd, yes. So at that point the band were really taking off. But things weren't going to work out quite so well, were they? Well, you know, we headed to London where they were putting on a festival to show off young talent. But we were let down when they called it off at the last minute, and we were ripped off by the organisers. Then Stix McKenzie tragically died after falling into a swimming pool. He kept on swimming in circles for several hours until he finally gave up and drowned. We took on another drummer to take over from Stix, but he didn't really fit in. Yes, I think we all heard the rumours that he was going out with your ex-wife. I'd rather not go into that, thank you. And it took you a long time to get over it, and you ended up with drug problems. Oh, don't go on about it. Can we move on to talking about my new solo album? Well, I'm afraid we'll have to put it off to a later date, because I'm afraid we've run out of time. Frazz Alverbs, thank you very much. Join us next week on Round the Table, when we'll be looking into early Renaissance vegan poetry and asking, what were they going on about? Until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night. But we didn't get around to talking about my new album. Oh, please shut up.